Things that make you go, hmm, on this episode of Front Porch Friday. Welcome back to another episode of Front Porch Friday. So I got a couple things that been making me go, lately. Not anything I could really make a whole video, and they're just kind of, I really couldn't care less about a lot of them. Just things that, you think about throughout the day and kind of ponder on. And the first, well, one of the channels I do follow, I don't agree with her 100% of the time, and that's okay. I can still watch her channel and take take all the information she gives and, deal with it or confirm it or deny it or whatever. So anyway, I think I've told y'all before that the Patriot nurses went on about how many small arms we left in Afghanistan. Like, I've heard numbers between 250,000 to 500,000 small arms left in Afghanistan, not including, the Air Force. We supplied them with jets, helicopters, all this stuff. And what cracks me up, I hear people going, well, they ain't smart enough to use it. Are you really that stupid? We trained them. Yeah, we trained them. Yes, it was the Afghan National Army, whatever they called it, but they're Taliban now. And Taliban had people in the Afghan army all along learning this stuff. But let's just say you're right. They're too stupid. Let's just say they're too stupid to fly a jet or helicopter or most advanced weapons. Well, guess what? The one thing Taliban need? Cold hard cash. Guess who's lining up to buy all this technology and all this information that we left over there? I guarantee you there's some Chinese showed up with big old suitcases full of cash. Not to mention the Russians, the Indians, Pakistanis, any terrorist organization that had extra cash laying around, Iran, everybody flocking there, all of our enemies flocking there to buy equipment and technology. Our guidance systems, targeting systems, all that's going to be reverse engineered. Thank you, U.S. government. And I'm just, again, like I said in another video, I'm not blaming Biden alone. It goes all the way back to GW. Every president and every senator and every House of Representative member who supported that whole crap right there is responsible. I mean, we got Inhofe and Linford now just jumping down Biden's throat. Well, y'all went along with this too. Y'all are just as guilty. Sure, Biden put a stop to it. Probably shouldn't have. But we shouldn't have been there first place. Everybody warned us. Don't get bogged down. You go over there, you're going to get bogged down. Told GW that. Oh, no. We're not safe. We know better. Oh, watch your ass. Oh, anyway. There again, we follow the money. Even if the Taliban, can't use a lot of that, they selling it for cash. I guarantee you, probably even before we withdrew, there was that stuff in the hands of our enemies. Okay, another thing that makes me go, this person is just entering college, and they had this course called How to Be Successful in College. Sounds like a course everybody should take one in college. This course is required you take this to be eligible for a $20,000 scholarship. Okay, cool. Because we know everybody going to college wants to be successful, right? So it was perpetrated as being, knowing how to study, how to get good grades, this, that, things you will need, all this stuff. Well, they showed me, and going down the list, there's stuff you need to know. Then we come to a Tulsa 1921 race rights or something like that. And then more stuff. Totally out of the blue. Really? That's part of being successful in college, to have this course or have this sub-course in this whole course? And so I started reading the questions. And it was clear that this was a politically correct course, and this is at Tulsa Community College. I expect there's probably at more colleges. And I'm thinking, now, if this was Oklahoma history, or even U.S. history, I would expect something like that. But a course saying how to be successful in college, and it wanted you to buy this $20 book. Really? Now I gotta buy a $20 book. So, some of the questions were, I don't know if you can see this very well, and since I don't have a printer here at the house, I'm just going to show you. Now this one, I thought these were 3 except no, this is 1, 2, 3. This is all one thing you had to reply. From the author description of Tulsa, 1921, contrast the general views of the white and black Tulsans toward the Greenwood District and its residents. Identify passages from the chapter that supports your response and include the page number of each passage. Finally, comment on how these views impact race relations in Tulsa before the race, notice, quote-unquote, massacre. Number 2, in Chapter 2, the author describes post-war racial and economic tensions that were building across the United States during 1919 through 1921. Choose a passage from Chapter 2, including the page number, and compare it to current issues being experienced in the U.S. today. How do you predict today's issues will be resolved? Number 3, select a passage from Chapter 3, including the page number, that describes how African Americans were forced to live differently than whites. Do we see evidence of similar situations today? Compare the current issues on the way the African Americans were treated in 1921. Number 4, what do you make of the stories described in Chapter 4 that the May 31st Tulsa Tribune contained an editorial that called for Dick Rowland's lynching, but that copies of that editorial have never been found? What does this say about Tulsa Tribune, the attempt to cover up the Tulsa Race Massacre, or any other assertions you may have? How does any of that have to do with being successful in college? You can tell by the questions and how they ask them that they're trying to lead these students in a certain direction. And I know I have a lot of black viewers, and before some of y'all, black or white or red or whatever, start saying it's racial, it's not racial. That does not belong into a course that is called How to Be Successful in College. It doesn't. I don't care if we're talking about the Tulsa race riots, which, by the way, they've only been the Tulsa Race Massacre the last 5 or 10 years since it's become politically correct. And it sounds way, way worse when you call it a massacre. But I don't care if we're talking about Wounded Knee, Mountain Meadow Massacre out in Utah, Little Bighorn. I don't care what we're talking about. That's history. That goes in history. Doesn't go into a required course about how to be successful in college. Just my opinion. Here's another one. there was a study by Duke University, not necessarily a study, I don't think it was a study, but they, I don't know how you word it, maybe it was a study. Anyway, they were looking at the rates of contracting, the C word, vax versus unvaxxed. And I think they were making the unvaxxed get tested at least twice a week, maybe twice a month or twice a week, something like that. If I can remember, I'll leave the link down below. What they found was, out of 5 or 10,000 students, how many students they got going to Duke University, whether you was vaxxed or not, the contraction rate was only 2%. Well, now that can't be right. Duke University, just saying. I'm finding it really, really interesting that the media and everybody else is really not wanting to talk about natural immunity. The doctors, when you see a doctor, and it's always funny, they choose some of the same doctors who are obviously liberal, but, well, even if you have natural immunity, even if you've had it and you need to go, you need to get the vax. Why? Oh, well, it just makes you less susceptible. Well, no, if you got natural immunity, you got natural immunity. That's kind of the whole definition of natural immunity. Now they're saying, if you were one of the first ones who got vaxxed, you need a booster. You need to go get some more because that strain back there is different than this strain here. It's kind of like the flu, isn't it? The flu, people would go get the flu shot. Okay, we're going to get the flu shot, and then they get the flu. Oh, well, that's a different strain of flu. Really? Well, it doesn't make it as bad. I'm just saying, I don't care if you're vaxxed or not. Just don't put crap on me. I'll do what I want to, how I want to, and do what I choose. So, yeah, I found that awful interesting. That, and there's other studies. Israel has done a study. I don't know the in-depth of that study because I just read the headlines. Something like natural immunity is 13 times better than the vaccination. So, don't know. I couldn't really care less. I don't really get into that. That's just stuff that I don't need floating around my head thinking about. I gave it this little thing here. Segment here is about how much I've thought about this. So, just saying, just something else makes you go, Once again, things in the real world are not adding up to what they're trying to make us believe. Go figure. Another thing, where is this? Who's paying for all these free vaccinations? Have you ever seen the government come out and give free vaccinations for anything? Flu vaccine wasn't free, and it was more prevalent than this stuff. But yet we never got free flu. When it comes to government, they just don't do anything out of the goodness of their heart. Okay, there's money someplace. Money and control is two things that they're worried about. So who's paying? Who's making the money here? I'm guessing, again, I hadn't concerned myself enough to go do the research. Just doesn't get that far on my radar. But are these companies, the pharmaceutical companies, getting paid by the government for each free dose they give out? You got Walmart, Walgreens, just about every mama, CVS, all of them giving free vaccines. Who's paying for that? Because I know the Walmart and Walgreens and stuff aren't. They're getting their money someplace. I don't know. If you know, or if you want to take a guess, leave a comment down below. Where's the money? Follow the money if you want to know the truth. So anyway. Okay, remember that video I had about counties buying all the rural land in Oklahoma? Well, I had one of the commenters argue on that, and that right here's a video about there wasn't near as many dispensaries as something like that. He was trying to argue. And it's funny because now we have a district attorney in the county saying Oklahoma is a source state now for illegal marijuana, that they have actually picked up Asian gang members in our little podunk town, or podunk county. You know, Asian gang members from the West Coast as well as, you know, East Coast, New York, Philadelphia, and all that. And this isn't even the most up-to-date, but these towns all have less 10,000 or less people. In 2020, there was 35 in the biggest town. No, I'm sorry, 58 in the biggest town, and there were 68 in 2021. Next biggest town in the county. Now, the biggest has about 18 to 20,000. The next biggest, around 10 to 12. I don't even think they have 10, but they're close. 35 pot growers in 2020 and 45 in 2021. Now, the smallest little town had 8 growers in 2020 and 13 in 2021. Now, the smallest town in 2020 only had 3 dispensaries. And in 2021, there's only 3 dispensaries, probably for 2,000 to 3,000 people. The largest town had 20, and they jumped up to 25 in 2021. Most of these numbers for the dispensaries are staying the same, while the grower numbers are blowing up. And so his point was that there's not enough people, and I've said that before in the other video, not enough people in Oklahoma buying all this pot. Where's it going? Well, now we know. We know it's going outside the state. The thing is, all that black market pot, we don't get taxes on it. Okay? If we had to legalize it so that, you know, we would get tax dollars for schools and roads and whatever else they promised, you know, just like when the casino vote came up. Oh, if you vote for the casinos, all this revenue is going to our schools. We'll be the best schools in the world. Nobody can tell you where all the casino revenue is going. Just like no one can tell you where all the turnpike revenue is going. That's Oklahoma for you. So, anyways, we're missing out on a lot of tax dollars, and he's wanting to do something about it, which I totally agree. If you're going to have it, it's got to be taxed. I got to pay my taxes. You're going to grow pot, you need to be taxed. So, just a little update on that. So, something else might go, on this Friday. I hope y'all had a great week. Hope you have a better weekend. Have an awesome weekend. It's getting fall here. We got our first little fall cold front. Ooh. Night lows got in the upper 50s. Man, I was sleeping with the windows open. Well, I've been sleeping with the windows open for a while now. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. Hey, give me your comments what you think below.